Race number 6 of the 2018 AARO Amp Energy Racing Series season would be the Dodge 250. Was originally supposed to be at the Philadelphia Motordrome, however was relocated to South Boston Speedway as a result of an incoming snowstorm, making accessibility to the track quite difficult. The AAA pole award was won by Jalen Scranton in car number 26. Kane Dwyer, we are focused on here, started around the top 20 area, but was hit with a 25-point penalty in the standings after failing inspection. After Darlington, Carson Crompton is the de facto points leader. He is starting in second for this race. As we get the green flag underway, Jalen Scranton rocketing out in front of the field, not really able to break away and get the lead, however, as the inside line, as you'll see tonight, is the preferred line. Madison Vermette demonstrating that by completing the pass after turn number 4 and leading the first lap. Bo Phillips starting inside the top 10. All of these Show TA Motorsports cars had some superb qualifying efforts, and Phillips really looking to try and turn his roller coaster of a season around so far, and it looks like he's doing a very good job of that. We have a caution on the racetrack. Lights are on in the pace car. 3 wide action. That is not what is the cause of the caution. That was what we were focusing on at the time, and it was contact between Clyde Lattinger and Zach McCrae that collected Brian Hensler and Ryan Barley there. Barley getting a little bit of air, no harm, no foul, it seems, though. The 5 turns the 34 down into the 3 of Hensler, who sustained some light damage, but other than that, Hensler looks to be really without too much trouble. As there's some contact there, McCrae had to move up high to avoid Lattinger from sliding back across the track and collecting him. He rides the wall there through 3 and 4, but once again, just cosmetic damage, it looks like, on car number 5. As maybe some patience could have been used there on the part of McCrae to avoid that one, but all in all, it doesn't look like anything too significant is going to come from it, but other than Clyde Lattinger's rear end damage there, and it's not going to help him maintain this rather consistent form that he's shown all season, as Madison Vermette leads the field for the restart here on lap number 10. Jordan Tipson right behind him, looking to turn around. He's had a rather lackluster season thus far, but Sean Glossum in car number 9 is going to peek underneath the 18 car to dispatch him for second and bring his teammate Seth McGuire through to third. As we got contact between Jared Cash and Kent Grosso, sending them around. Clyde Lattinger collected in another one. Jack Jefferson also collected just 5 laps after the restart. As I will take a look at this from an alternate camera, Grosso really didn't have much to do. There was contact between Lattinger and Jared Cash there, and that's what sparked all that. Grosso doesn't appear to be too heavily damaged. On board with Ike Durbin in the 86. He was committed to the high line. He had cars underneath him anyway and sustained a slight bit of right front damage there, but didn't look to be too serious for that 86 car, so all is well and good. As we have a restart here on lap number 21, Sean Glossum trying to get and trying to challenge for the top spot, unable to do so though as Vermette rockets away. The reason for that, Seth McGuire in car number 6 peeks underneath the 9 car and moves his veteran teammate up to the high side and moves around him to take over the second spot. And McGuire definitely turning heads around the league, fans and owners alike, as Cody Lochner has a problem from the top 10. He's going to bring his Garth Enterprises number 81 into the pits. Tough break for that team once again. Another mechanical issue. Took 4 tires and replaced them, and he was off and away, but he would lose several laps. Garth Enterprises not really finding much luck at all so far in their tenure in the AERS. As we've got Kane Dwyer, Zach McCrae, who's involved in an earlier caution, and Casey Lester all rocketing up through the field after some rather poor qualifying efforts. And Dwyer looking to recover as many lost points as possible to try and reduce the impact of that penalty that he got after last week. Jimmy Cohone making a dive underneath Carson Crompton here for the 11th spot. Cohone trying to turn around the shipwreck of a season that he's had so far. And Carson Crompton, well, obviously looking for as many points as he can to maintain the points lead. Porter Racing Corporation teammates Jack Walter and Bjorn Brewer are both running inside the top 10 at this given moment. Walter is not as DNQ'd for several races so far this season, so it's good to see him turn his year around. Lap number 45, we've got lap traffic in the form of Clyde Lattinger doesn't appear to be holding Madison Vermette up too much. Lattinger, ever the gentleman, moves up high to let the 0-1 car go through, and that's going to allow Vermette to put the 34 between his closest competitors. However, that would not stop Seth McRae Seth McGuire, not McRae, to make a move underneath the 0-1 several laps later and take the lead for himself. Can't be understated how well McGuire has done in the opening part of his AERS career. Jordan Tipson eventually would catch up and pass the 0-1 of Vermette to take over the third spot. Show TA Motorsports showing their muscle today. Bo Phillips back inside the top 5, I believe in 4th, and Jalen Scranton would be running 13th at this point. Not quite up to the caliber of his other two teammates, but a respectable showing nonetheless for that 26 car. Finished 2nd at Miami earlier. As out of turn number 2, we've got Bo Phillips going underneath Jack Walter to take over the 4th position in the race, while Madison Vermette goes underneath Jordan Tipson to take over 2nd. So Vermette fighting back and still hungry to try and get that first win early and out of the way. Nate Smith has also rocketed up through the field as he takes over the 5th spot from Sean Glossom here in car number 9. Smith able to eventually complete the pass. Michael Carter back, I believe, in the 22nd position. So the 2015 champion, I believe a former winner at this track as well, not quite having the day that he had hoped. The two Show TA teammates, Jordan Tipson and Bo Phillips, having a battle here for 3rd on lap number 108. And it looks like Phillips is going to win out, obviously with the inside line working in his favor. Phillips, the 2014 Logitech National Tour Championship runner-up, having the drive of his career so far, and certainly making his presence known. As James Rodin, unfortunately, in car number 31, has a mechanical issue. He would not get back out on track. Unfortunate circumstance for him and the Sauer Enterprises team, as lap number 114, Madison Vermette eventually is going to catch up and pass Seth McGuire to reclaim the lead for himself. And Vermette continuing to show quite a lot of promise. And not a whole lot was expected of that 0-1 car, as Barry Juveno, unfortunately for the Carson Racing team, blows up here on lap number 128. And Juveno, usually known for his prowess on short tracks, just was not having a great run today. He had just gone a lap down, and I'm sure he's not pleased about it. As Nate Smith eventually is going to catch up and take advantage of Seth McGuire being shuffled down into 2nd, unable to make a pass in this shot. Eventually, however, on lap number 135, the 83 of Smith makes a nice move to the inside here and takes the 2nd position away from McGuire. McGuire's teammate Sean Glossom dropping rapidly through the 3-order, as he's just lost the 17th spot to Tyler Deefer. He's now back in 18th, so Glossom's car apparently fading away as the run's gone on. Cody Lochner going underneath him for track position. The 81 is several laps down. Lap traffic would eventually be a factor in this one, as Madison Vermette has been caught by Nate Smith, and the 83 is waiting to pounce on the opportunity to go past. Bo Phillips eventually is going to work past Seth McGuire to take over the 3rd spot in this race, while Casey Lester in car number 87, as we mentioned, he was on the move earlier, has found himself inside the top 5, and he is going to make a run underneath Seth McGuire and take over the 4th spot for himself. Lester trying to get a string of consistency going. However, he would be the first car to pit here on lap number 155, kicking off green flag pit stops. You got Madison Vermette out in the lead, looks to be coming in. He slows up in the middle of the corner and gets spun around by the 83 of Nathan Smith. Caution number 3 here on lap 155. We'll take a look at the 83 to see what happened here. And Vermette just checked up in the middle of the corner. Not much that Smith could have done. A lot of people were upset with the 83 after that move, as this is going to pin several cars who had just pit, like Casey Lester and Tyler Deefer here, off of the lead lap. And unfortunate break for them. As you can see, the leaders at the end of pit road being held up. We're waiting for the lap cars to go by. and this is going to cause a bit of a stir-up on the restart. A few cars, notably Deefer and Glossum there, on the tail end of the lead lap as Nate Smith restarts in the lead here on lap number 161. Several cars trapped on the inside line as well, stuck a lap down. As contact between Keith Jesse and Ike Durbin, close quarters out of turn number 4. Luckily, everything seems to have worked out. Jesse may be a little too aggressive, getting into the back of the 86, and Durbin not too happy, washing him up the track out of turn 2 there. So, obviously that wasn't appreciated by the 86, as we've got Cilantro in car number 42 moving into the second spot, past Vermette, using the inside line to his advantage. The lap car Steven Cortez has a bit of a pick to try and negotiate some of this traffic. Fast forwarding to 50 laps to go, Nate Smith in car number 83 finding his way around these lap cars rather easy, going around his teammate Ike Durbin to put him off the lead lap. You see the scoreboard up in the top right corner of the screen. About 2 seconds or so separates car number 83 and Herb Cilantro. But Smith, around lap 215 or so, would find himself in a 3-wide sandwich here with Jonathan Ringer peeking to his inside. Kent Grosso with some left side damage on that 66 machine. But Smith definitely not needing these lap cars getting in his way, as Herb Cilantro is hungry and on the prowl, trying to get himself the first win in quite a while. But Seth McGuire in car number 6 has caught the 42, tries to look underneath him, is unable to make anything happen. Smith still finding himself in smooth sailing as he comes out of turn number 4 to take 4 laps to go, and there's a caution flag. There's a caution on the racetrack with just 5 laps to go. We'll have to see what this one is. And Ringer and David Hugar make contact up the track. Goes Lattinger hard into the wall. That was a big shot into the wall. Cilantro's collected from second. McGuire gets a piece of it from third. So we'll have to take a look at this one. Ringer and Hugar make contact. Up the track goes the 27. Lester takes advantage there, but boy, hope Clyde Lattinger's all right. That was a rather hard impact for him. We will believe Lattinger was able to climb out under his own power. David Hugar as well with a big shot. He slowly rolls over, rather lazy roll for that 27 car. The 3 trying to flip him over there, but unable to do so. As we're on board with Cilantro, and you really can't anticipate that at all. Out of nowhere comes the rear end of the 34 car, and Herb Cilantro unfortunately will retire from this one as a result. Oh, there's Seth McGuire got turned around by Bjorn Brewer. Kane Dwyer getting a piece. Jordan Tipson. Steven Cortez piling in for some reason. So Seth McGuire as well in car number 6 is going to, I believe he's going to have to pit to get this damage repaired. Unfortunate for him. We are going to have a 1-lap shootout, though, as the lights went off on the pace car on lap 249. Here we are taking the white flag on the restart. Lester trying to dive to the inside. However, it's not really going to be consequential, as there's plenty of lap traffic between Nate Smith and the rest of the field. So Lester's going to, luckily for him, get his lap back, but it's not going to make a difference. Out of turn number 4, Nate Smith takes the Dodge 250 in a dominant performance for that 83 car. And some questionable circumstances for sure about how he got out in front. But ultimately, at the end of the night, it's the 83 car who is doing burnouts here under the South Boston moonlight. So congratulations, back-to-back wins for ACS, and he gets to do that little backwards, that trademark backwards burnout that Carson Crompton typically does. So congratulations to that entire 83 crew. Madison Vermette finally brings that 0-1 car home with a result to match the run that he's had during one of these races this season. Comes home in P2. Kane Dwyer with a nice rebound despite that front end damage that he got late, very late in the going in that final wreck. Managed to stay out there and finish in third. Alex Yates with a nice rebound in fourth. Jordan Tipson, first career AMP Energy Racing Series top 5 at 32 years old. Gotta make some kind of check on a statistic for the oldest top 5 finishers ever, or oldest winners ever as well, for that matter. Carson Crompton's going to come home in 6th. He's going to lose the points lead, it seems, to Kane Dwyer, unfortunately for him. But at least he got to see his teammate win, got to be in Nate Smith's shoes this weekend, this time around. Tommy Richer in 7th, rebounding after a tough tough couple of weeks for that 2 car. Zach McRae comes home in 8th, so Skulls Racing getting both of their cars inside the top 10. And Shotier Motorsports puts all 3 of their entries inside the top 10 tonight at South Boston. Jalen Scranton coming home in 9th, and Bo Phillips rounding out the top 10. Moving on to the point standings, as I had just briefly touched on, Kane Dwyer reclaims his points lead despite the penalty with his 3rd place finish today. 777 points at the conclusion of this event, 55 markers ahead of Carson Crompton. Jonathan Ringer hangs on to 3rd, 134 points back, so the points battle has certainly spread out quite a bit. Michael Carter just 2 behind his teammate in 4th, looking to once again be a threat for the championship, as we've grown accustomed to seeing Carter be in this series. Tyler Diefer is in 5th place. Nate Smith climbs up to 6th, gains 3 spots in the points, 151 points back, though, in the standings, so he'll still have a bit of work to do if he wants to realistically get up and be a contender this season. Seth McGuire in 7th, Jared Cash in 8th place, Zach McRae back down to 9th, and Jack Jefferson still hanging on to a top 10 spot, 244 points behind Dwyer.